Good morning, students. Today I am going to explain you the parapodial locomotion. In my previous lecture, we studied about the different types of locomotion in invertebrates like ciliary movement, flagellar movement, amoeboid movement, etc. And today we will discuss about the parapodial locomotion. What is parapodial locomotion? Locomotion is brought about by the combined action of parapodia, body musculature, and some extend the coelomic fluid. And most species of polychaete annelids have paired fleshy parapodia, which are segmentally arranged along the body axis. Parapodia are vary greatly in size and form, reflecting their variety of functions such as gas exchange, anchoring, protection, and locomotion. Neanthes shows generally two types of locomotion, like slow creeping and fast creeping, but sometimes it swims in water. And by the slow creeping, uh, movement of Neanthes are carried out by the action of parapodia only. Before this, we should know about the structure of parapodia. What is parapodia? Parapodia are fleshy paddle-like locomotory appendages arising from the lateral side of the body segments in polychaetes. In Neanthes, all body segments except the first and last segments bear on either lateral side the parapodia. Largest parapodia are encountered in the middle segment of the body. The size of the parapodia decreases towards the two ends. Each parapodium is biramous, consisting of two parts, an upper or dorsal blade, the notopodium, and a lower or ventral blade, the neuropodium. Parapodia is the word in which the para means side and podus means foot. So each segment of the body in the nares except the peristomium and the anal segment bears on either lateral side a flat, fleshy, hollow and ventricle flap-like outgrowth which is called the parapodia. Huxley first of all gave the name parapodia to these fleshy outgrowths. And in the structure, each of the side further divide into two lobes, an upper and the lower. The dorsal margin of the notopodium is produced into a short cylindrical tactile appendages. As we can show in the diagram, the dorsal serous and a similar structure is produced at the ventral margin of the neuropodium, the ventral serous of the two series. The dorsal one is much larger than the ventral. Both the notopodium and neuropodium have a bundle of bristle-like setae in a sac formed by the invagination of the epidermis. The setigerous sac. The setae are capable of being protruded or retracted and turned in various directions by strands of muscular fibers present in the interior of parapodium. Each seta of the bundle originates from a single large formative cell present at the base of the sagittarius sac. In the middle of each bundle of setae and deeply embedded in the parapodium is found out straight, thick and dark color chitinous rod and aciculum, which projects only a short distance but doesn't project beyond the outer edge of the parapodium. At its inner end, the aciculum has attached muscles by which protrusion and retraction of the parapodium occurs. The two acicula constitute the endoskeleton of parapodium and serve to support and for attachment of the skeletal muscles. The parapodia are largest in the mid region of the body and decrease the size towards the anterior and posterior ends of the body. The first two parts of parapodia have no notopodial city. The parapodia are highly muscular, well vascularized and granular structure. What are the function of the parapodium? The parapodia are primarily the organs of locomotion, used both in creeping and in swimming. Since the parapodia are highly vascularized, hence they also serve the function of respiration. Now the city. How the parapodial locomotion works. In 1939, Gray has described the pattern of parapodial activity during locomotion in nares, or locomotion in free swimming polychaetes is accomplished by circular, longitudinal, and parapodial muscles and by coelomic fluid. When a worm such as nares moves slowly, the contractual force comes from the sweeping movement of the parapodia. According to Gray in 1939 observation, each parapodium behave like a miniature pedal, alternately beating backwards, which are called the effective stroke, and forward, which are called the recovery stroke. The opposite parapodia of adjacent segment always perform the same stroke at the time, while the opposite parapodia of the same segment perform reverse stroke at the same time. It means the parapodia of each segment are not aligned and the effective stroke is the backward one, in which the execute are projected beyond the parapodium and come in contact with the crawling surface, and in the recovery or forward stroke the aciculi retract and parapodium lifts free of the surface. Movements of parapodia are controlled by oblique and parapodial muscle and the coelomic fluid, which may be forced into or withdrawn from them. Means when a parapodium ends its backward stroke, the next parapodium initiate one body undulations which help the worm to move rapidly are produced by the contraction of longitudinal muscle stimulated by the backward stroke of parapodium of a particular segment. So it's all about my today's lecture. Thank you.